Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Mona Rasoulzadeh joining us, our Reiki master and business owner. Yes, Mystical Ray Healing is the name of the company from beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. Welcome back today. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you, Jill?
Fantastic, fantastic.
Good.
She's a woman that wears many hats, right? As an intuitive reader, sound healer, Reiki master. There's a lot you do for people. Would you mind just telling us a little bit about that?
Of course, yes. So my mission at Mystical Ray Healing is to help you tap into your own powers and self-healing through Reiki, through intuitive reading, past life regression, sound healing, and working with many different natural healing modalities such as yoga, breath work, meditation to transform, heal, and elevate your life in all aspects and forms.
Beautiful. And always a pleasure having you here with us on the podcast and Zoomcast. It's Mystical Ray Healing, MYSTICALREIHEALING.com. And I know we're going to get into another great conversation today. So, on your path and journey to help people, what did you have in mind for us?
Today I want to talk about meditation, having a ritual or a routine, especially in the morning to set the day, and the importance of how that helps attract abundance into your day, helps you transform your mood, your shift, your vibration, so you can be uplifted throughout the entire day. I know
Hmm.
many of us get up and the first thing we do oftentimes is look at our phone in the morning. It's just
Yep.
habit. Yes. Probably one of the worst things you can do is make that contact first thing in the morning with your phone, with technology. That first 20 minutes
It's
that you
so
wake
sad.
up is alpha waves. Your subconscious is very alert, very wired, very stimulated, and your ego is still asleep. It has not come to yet. So, how you spend those 20 minutes is how the rest of your day is going to go. If you're on your phone, you're going to be distracted all day. You're going to be just disconnected, not really in tune with yourself or the universe or what's going on, and very caught up in the fictional world of technology. So I want to talk about the importance of having a routine to kind of break that habit and get into a more of a structured routine each day, getting up and honoring self before anything else. I always start my days, if you can, wake up super early. 5 a.m. is a magical time to wake up. There's something significant about that time where the world still feels very much asleep and it's only you that's awake and doing a journal. So, waking up, if the first thing you can do is write a gratitude list, you are going to attract so much abundance, so much to be grateful for the rest of the day. That is just how the universe operates. If you write 5 things you're grateful for, you're going to get 10 more things that day that you are grateful for by the end of the day. So, in that 20 minutes, doing some breath work, working with the different elements such as fire, air, water, spirit to bring communication. So I always wake up and I sage my entire house. At night when we're asleep, we do invite in energies through our dream. We do dream work. So it's really important to cleanse the space, to welcome in new, fresh energy. I open up all the windows so you get some fresh air. I talk to my plants, I water my plants, I work with all the different elements. And then I sit down and I journal for about a good 15, 20 minutes while doing coconut oil pulling for my teeth.
Wow.
I know my mornings, everyone always says, I'm like, I need at least 2 hours before I can meet someone or do anything because I need to do like half an hour of yoga, half an hour of breath work, half an hour of journaling. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to get on with my day, meet people, see the world. But that time is so crucial for me. I grew up in a very chaotic home full of people. I have 3 siblings. So there was never any time for me. So now that I live on my own, that first thing in the morning, those few hours are what gives me energy to do everything. I work 3 different jobs, so I'm all over the place. But those 2 hours truly, truly set the tone for not just my entire day, but just they make me who I am. If I miss journaling for one day, I'm like, oh my God, like I feel off. And it's
Mm-hmm.
important to have that for people trying to attract in more abundance. And I know we live in a economy where it's not really abundant right now,
Yep.
and everybody is struggling, and the universe itself is abundant, and none of us are meant to be suffering the way that we are. So it's really important to implement these simple things that we can do each day that don't take up money, that we have the time for, and it's in the comfort of your own home to attract in more opportunities for finances, for travel, whatever it may be that you're trying to attract. Meditation. I want to focus mostly on meditation and how it transforms your brain first and foremost, how it really shifts you from, we live in such a stimulated world where everything is stimulation. We're constantly on the go. Everyone lives by a schedule. You have to schedule time to talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And there's nothing free flowing. And it's just the West that's like this. If you travel like Southeast Asia, there's none of this. Everybody's very flow with what's going on that day. There's no set schedules. It's just more
Yep.
freedom. But here we have to unfortunately live in this bubble of appointments and schedule and time where it really, really shifts, and it makes us step into our masculine energy. So for many feminine that can't go into their feminine energy, that's why, because we live in a masculine driven world. And now we have loads of feminine that are supposed to be soft, flowy, very linear, that are very structured and very masculine. That's why there's so many distortions in relationships and love, as well as other stuff going on in the world. So this needs to balance out, and the greatest way and the easiest way is through meditation. Meditation allows you to sit with yourself. It allows you to train your mind to be still, to receive, to truly hear. And when we give ourselves that time, it allows our masculine and feminine hemispheres of our brain to sort of mash and blend, merge more prominently together than being just in one energy. So when this is happening, signs of when this is happening for you are you become more forgetful. When your feminine comes into more play, the feminine aspect of us doesn't go by time and structure and appointments. It just goes by what feels right. So it knows it needs to be somewhere when it knows it needs to be somewhere. So when that's happening within our brain, we become forgetful, we become more flow, we become less triggered by things. And the easiest way to do this is through meditation. And it's so, so simple now. We have YouTube, which has many great resources for finding meditations that we resonate with, that we can truly sit and listen to and be guided through. And if you find that you're not someone that can sit still in a position, for many that's very difficult to do, listen to music. Meditation is anything that brings you into the present moment and allows you not to think about the past or the future. It allows your mind to be here in the now and here. So that can be dance, it could be a walk in nature, it could be listening to music. It doesn't have to be that you sit still and you're meditating and trying to shut down your brain. For anyone that has a hard time with meditation, it really isn't that. If you find that that's not the way for you, find another means of coming into the present moment. I mean, I know when I dance and I listen to music, I absolutely get lost in it. There's like nothing else that exists. It's just me in that moment. So if you find you love music, work with the element of music. Sound also has very healing energy, as well as meditative energy. So there's many different forms and ways of meditating. There's no reason people should not be meditating, or, oh, I can't sit still. That's not what meditation is. And I really want to clarify that today, that there's many different forms of training your brain to be in that state and to bring yourself into that awareness and present moment.
Thank you.
Of course,
Always present and aware. You make it seem so easy. It's effortless. I love it.
it's not easy. I used to be I have ADHD, I dyslexic, so I had lots. I've meditated religiously for 10 years now. the first time I did it, it was to the sound of Om, which is like the first universal sound of the
Mm-hmm.
universe. And I remember just crying the entire time, and it felt like a coming home. And I was like, wow, this is what I've been missing my entire life. This peace, this stillness. And I'll never forget that feeling. I come from a very chaotic, disruptive, violent, loud upbringing. And to find that peace, to finally
Mm-hmm.
feel, oh my God, this is what I'm actually like on the inside, outside of all of my conditioning, was truly transformative for me. It changed my entire life. That day moving forward was meditation is religion for me. I mean, many people have different things they worship, they follow, but for me, that is what I always have to have in my life to function, to do anything. It's like going home for me, that sense of peace, comfort, stillness. There's nothing quite like it in a world that is so loud, so crazy, so chaotic, and so stimulating. It truly is heaven on earth when you can hone in that energy and be in that moment in that way.
Hmm. Thank you. All right.
Of
Well, let's remind everyone how we can contact you, please.
Yes, at Mystical Ray Healing. So that's spelled Mystical. Ray is ReiHealing.com. My phone number, email, and all my services are up on my website as well.
And we don't have to take a break today. We're good. Continue.
Ah, lovely.
I sometimes forget. I'm like, we're on the Zoom. We're not yet. We're good. Let's continue.
No, perfect. Do you have any questions so far, Jill, or curious
No,
about anything?
I'm just here like in awe because I just love the way you speak and you make everyone feel so comfortable and so you flow in a way that's very majestical, can I say?
Yeah, thank you so
And
much.
but by talking to you, but it's inspiring that like you really can do anything. And it's wow. Even if you have, you shared your struggles and you grew up, you mentioned with not many means, but it's like how you can grow and achieve and inspire so many. So I just appreciate the conversation and I know you're helping so many. So I'm on board for this and ready to continue. So more with the energy, more with the flow, spirituality. Where are we heading?
Yes, on that, actually, I want to touch base on people that are struggling, that
Sure.
don't have maybe the means or the
Yeah.
resources to get into this line of work. There are many out there, like there's many resources that are for free that can train, teach, be of support. It doesn't matter where you come from, you can always end up where you want to be. It's just having that envision of who you want to be, what you want to achieve in life, and the state that you want to be in. And I always knew, like, as a kid, I'm like, this is not how I want to grow up or in the environment that I want to be in.
Hmm.
So I was very determined to shift that for myself. And it all came through being in this state of stillness where I receive guidance, where I communicate with the universe. And that to me is truly the biggest gift from the world. I mean, if you're tapped into the universe, there's nothing you cannot do. That's the thing. The universe is abundant, is unlimited potential. And when you make that contact and you're in that state, abundance is for you. So let's say you go out like every day. I'm like, oh, I'm serving. This is how much I want to make in tips. This is how much I want to sell. I kind of set what I want my day to look like. And I ask the universe to meet me there. It's not the other way. I'm never like, oh, I hope like I make lots of money today. I know I'm going to make lots of money
Hmm.
because that is my energy. That's what I'm bringing forth. That is what I'm bringing to the table. And that's what I'm worthy of. And you only can achieve this state through meditation. I mean, everyone that is successful talks about having a routine. Nobody that is truly successful sleeps till 12 p.m. and then just goes about their day, flowy, whatever. Like there needs to be some sort of structure put into place, some sort of discipline. When you have that discipline, it also really grows your willpower. And when you have willpower, you get self-esteem because you know you're able and capable of doing anything. Like doing a 4-day fast, when I did it, I was like telling my body every time I wanted to eat, like, no, we can do this. You don't need food to survive. That trained my brain in a whole new way. And now I feel like there's nothing I can't do. Just every time we work with the brain to allow it to think differently and not for us to be a slave to the ego and to the brain. It's meant to actually work for us, not us for it. But as humans, we've been taught we live in this sort of robotic way where we just do things without really taking into account, is this my ego driving me? Or is this my soul driving me? Am I following my heart? Or am I following what my conditionings are, what's comfortable? These questions need to be asked. Your ego needs to be questioned. Your ego needs to be taught that it's a servant. It's meant to serve you, and not for you to be a slave to it and follow it blindly. And when we meditate, that's kind of the barrier we break down, is that ego starts to slowly die little by little, and the soul starts to truly come out to play. And when that happens, when you live from all soul, you are always connected at all times to everything around you. Therefore, you're able to transform just by walking into a place. Your energy will transform the
Oh,
entire vibration.
it gives me goosebumps.
It's that powerful, Joe. It's wild. Like, we often walk into places being like, oh, am I going to fit in with these people? Am I going to like them? But when you set your own frequency and you're not
Mhm.
worried about anybody else, and you know that you are the shift that changes everything around you, all those thoughts go out. It's like, wow, I'm going into this place. How am I shifting the vibration? How am I elevating the space that I'm in? How am I showing up and how am I taking up space? And when that shift happens is when you truly, truly transform not just yourself, but everyone that comes in contact with you. There's nobody that won't be affected by your vibration, by your frequency. And that's
Mhm.
the power of energy. And that's essentially what we're meant to be doing at this time, especially with everything, the war, the famine, everything that's going on in the world. It's really important that people work on self. You cannot change the world. You have to change yourself. And by changing yourself, you are changing the entire world. Every time you elevate your frequency, guess what happens? Everyone in your close vibration has to then raise their frequency to match you. So it automatically, on our energetic level, pushes everyone around you to elevate, to ascend, to become a better version of themselves. And if they don't, they leave your vibration. And that's how you know who's around you is for your highest good and who's not, and who fades out was just never meant to be a part of your journey. They're not able to take that level up. It's wild to see how things play out when you're very aware, you're in each moment, observing, seeing everything as it truly is, and being
Yep.
awakened to synchronicities that are happening around you all of the time.
Mm, beautifully said. All right. Can I also ask just one question as a Reiki master? Are you also training people to become Reiki masters as well? Do you offer that?
I do, yes. So I do attunements as well.
Attunements. Okay. Thank you.
Activations, attunements, you can call them whatever. But yes, I do that. I'm actually currently working on a course that's going to be online and in person to activate. And it's going to include all of this: how to meditate, how to do shadow work, how to do self care, tap into your dark and light sides and merge them, and to work with different goddesses, gods. I don't believe in doing just a workshop for Reiki. There's so much to Reiki that it's going to take more than a weekend to activate people, and I don't really resonate with the way Reiki is taught nowadays, where it's just a weekend workshop and people are masters. It's not that way. My course was a 6-month course where I did intensive training, energetic clearing, purging of anything that was no good for myself or to pass on to others. Because when you are doing energetic work for anyone, you're getting in their most vulnerable, sacred part of them, their energy, and you're able to manipulate it however you want for good or not so good. So it's really important that when you're training to become a Reiki master, that you yourself are at a point where you're healed and you're not projecting onto others,
Got it.
and that you're able to give from a full cup of being fully healed. Did that answer your question, or did you have
Yes.
more
No,
questions?
I'm just curious because and you also mentioned that everyone and everyone has the ability to do this work, right? It's something you just need to be trained or attuned to do because it's also fascinating. It's like, well, oh my goodness, how can I help change the energy around me to better someone, let alone myself, and put this positive energy in my food and my soul? But we all have the ability, right? Have you ever met someone that, tried training and couldn't do it?
You know what? No, because anyone that is
Yep.
drawn to Reiki has
Hmm.
done it in a past life. They've already mastered it in a past life. They're picking up where they left off.
Yep.
They're drawn to that for a reason. So nobody that isn't energetically attuned isn't going to come receive, especially the Reiki that I do. The intention that I had set for my business when I started it was to only attract people that truly need healing, that truly are attuned and sort of otherworldly. So anyone that
Hmm.
comes along my path, I know they're meant to do wonderful things. They've already been masters in past lives, and they're just picking up where they left off, and we're just remaking that connection that we've had in past lives. So all of this also is very, Reiki is just such a big box, and people only put in like, oh, it's for physical pain or element. Yes, it can be used for all of that, but it can also be used to tap into past lives, to integrate past lives. It can be used to, as you said, bless food. It can be used just for self. There's 3 different levels. So for
Hmm.
those looking to just make Reiki work for them, to draw in from that energy, abundance, love, prosperity, opportunities, self-healing, level 1 is really great. It's simple. It only works with self. It's a self-healing level. So you can only practice on yourself and incorporate it into your own life. And then level 2, you can start practicing on others
Okay.
and more with the collective. And level 3 is the master, where you can work on others, teach others, kind of manipulate however you want and make it your own practice. So that's my focus, is to teach people to do it in their own way, not in a traditional way. I don't like following someone else's footsteps. Everything's
You're
meant
a
to be.
trendsetter.
Yes, I don't like following anything that anyone else has done. That's their path. They've brought it forth in that way, but
Yep.
we're here individually to do things differently, each single one of us.
And you say no dream is too grand, right? We're all capable of limitless potential.
Yes, to
It's
be
true.
human is to be source in
Mhm.
human form. For people, if they can grasp that concept that they truly are their own co-creator of reality, at every moment you are manifesting everything in your life. Whatever you're living out right now, you have wanted at some point. You've thought about it, you've spoke it into existence. It may have taken 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, but at some point in your life, you've thought about this, you've manifested this, you've co-created it. And now the ones that are, some people it takes years to co-create, but some of us are instant. Like we think of something and boom, it appears. Like my cat, I manifested him. I just lost my bird, couldn't live with him anymore, and I was like, I really need a pet. That same night, went out for a walk with my mom, and I was like heartbroken. I was like, I've never not had an animal. I need a little companion. I was like, I really would love a cat. They're very much my personality. Say that same night in that walk, she was like, you know what?
Mhm.
One of my friends has a cat that she's trying to get rid of, and she doesn't have a home for it. I went and picked him up that same night at 10 p.m. I spoke this at maybe 6 p.m. and I had my cat at 10 p.m. So that is the
What?
power. Yes,
It is impressive.
just appeared in my life. That is the power of manifesting when we are fully present within our body and aware. For anyone thinks that is impossible if you knew my background from which I came from, how I grew up. We grew up like very, very poor, sometimes having no food at all, to becoming this person where I can have anything I want. Money is never a thought in my brain because I know I'm fully supported. I'm fully encouraged by the universe, and I know I'm co-creating. You would know that there's nothing there. The only barrier is you, your brain, and how you're thinking of yourself. Once you remove that self-doubt, that limiting mindset, you are tapped into unlimited potential, that the universe just wants to shower you with abundance. We're all its children. Why would it not want to? I mean, your parents want to see you happy, abundant, living your best life. That is the universe as well.
Thank you for this. All right. Well, we have to wrap up for today. Would you mind?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. So everyone that wants to reach me, you can reach me at 604-789-0256 or my website, mysticalreihealing.com, Mystical Ray Healing. All my services and information's on there as well. Thank you so much, Jill.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. You have a fantastic day and looking forward to the next time we get to connect, okay?
Dude, take care.
All right. Thank you so much. And we'll talk next week. Have a great day. Always a pleasure. Mystical Ray Healing. Talk soon.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.